Welcome to Voices from the Jars, where we explore the world of Allfield, one story at a time. Today we begin with one of the tiniest and most beloved animals in the land. You may hear one before you ever see one. What are Oxlis? What fills warm valleys with echoing chirps, smells like spices, and gathers in chalky spirals under the moonlight? Why do farmers bless them while bakers curse them? Thank you for being here. Your likes, shares, and comments really help as I bring this world into ours. Oxlis are adored by children, sung about in songs, and even mentioned in Ardoir's dark fairy tale, Queen Shellamore. But they've also become sticking points in village planning, been exploited by cults, used in folk medicine, and pose a few very real health hazards. What are Oxlis really? How do they live? And for how long? Why do they shed? And how do they seem so happy, despite a life that is not as easy as it seems? These are Oxlis, pale marshmallowy creatures just 2 inches tall, who live under bushes and tumble across the land on 3 stubby legs. Their faces are very expressive and often brightened with chubby grins. But there's more to them than just sweetness. Oxlis are omnivores, feeding on seeds, nibbling weeds, munching on insects, and scavenging overripe fruit that's fallen to the ground. They can't climb, but they love to run and stumble. They gather in groups under shrubs and bushes, venturing out occasionally to migrate, to shed, or to search for food. Their lifespan is short, about 1.5 to 2 years long. But during that time, they bud many identical copies of themselves, perpetuating their cycle of existence from the beginning of life on Allfield. Emerging from thawed mud at the end of the winter season, they soon shed their outer fuzz, which smells like sweet grass. During shedding, Oxlis twirl, creating chalky spirals on the ground in dry seasons. These intriguing marks are called Morkin signs. Shedding is also how Oxlis eliminate waste built up in their systems. Children sometimes collect the fuzz to make wishing bundles. This shedding process occurs once per season. Wet shedding clumps into a mess during flood season. During spring, summer, and fall, fluff is swept into corners and burned, partly for cleanliness, partly out of tradition. Surviving Oxlis rise from the mud in flood season and start budding in spring. By summer, they start shedding and leaving Morkin signs while reproduction begins to slow. The strongest Oxlis are left by fall's end. They shed once more, then bury themselves in mud for winter. Oxlis are naturally joyful creatures, some say the least tainted by the evils of the world. They adore interacting with people and especially children. If mistreated, large numbers will desert the area. Since they are a beneficial species, special care is often taken to encourage their happy presence. Many cultures share similar traditions of children's festivals, decorating moss culverts, and scattering breadcrumbs before a Morkin sign. The primary predator of Oxlis is the bane, but can also be preyed on by feeks, norags, and zazas. Oxlis peep in warm weather, but have a loud whistle when frightened and fleeing. The sound can cause mild dizziness in people and animals when heard from large groups. Their scent gives health clues. Healthy Oxlis smell like warm hodder fruit spice, while sick ones smell like mildew and hymnopi fungus. This is how peep fever spreads in the late summer. When Oxleys overcrowd for too long and become distressed, this serious coughing illness can spread quickly, especially in the very young and the very old. During these times, foos cloth masks are common in villages and towns. And yes, Oxleys are edible, but barely. In lean times, meat-eating peoples have been known to dry and salt them into a chewy ration called tegus. Tegus has often been described as gritty leather. Oxleys may be small, but their impact is wide. They help farmers, shape the way roads are built, and show up in local rituals as omens of good or warnings of imbalance. Even town layouts often include moss culverts and curbed ridges to guide them safely across roads. Pantries and flour bins must be shut tight in warmer months to keep out the eager and hungry swarms. Morkan signs are almost always made in full moonlight, and throughout the ages, many people have attached various meanings and interpretations to the peculiar symbols. This has led to the occasional vilification of the species. With sick or injured patients, some doctors use powdered shedding fluff as an allergy trigger. This activates sluggish immune responses to help fight infections. Whether you're out hiking the hills of Anterwen, lost in the knife grasses of Mount Arkling, or summer picnicking on the shores of Samberdell, keep an eye open for these playful critters and guard your lunches. The jar has gone silent, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening and for visiting Allfield with me. More is on the horizon. Until then, share your stories and ideas in the comments.